All right, topic number 3. It's my topic. But ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by a very special guest. Pop it up on screen, Kevin. Adrian, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Now, your name is Adrian Garcia.
Yes, it is.
You supported us on patreon.com/kindafunny to be the first ever guest to Skype in.
Yes.
And that's all the information I know about you, so please tell me more.
All right, so what do you want to know? Anything?
Where do you live? Where are you right now?
I'm currently in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Air capital of the world.
Kansas.
Do you listen to XV, the rapper?
XV? No.
Do you know Tech
From
9?
Wichita.
Yes, I do.
Hell yeah, you know Tech 9. What up, Strange Music?
Yeah. Go to his concerts at least twice a year here.
Good.
Good.
He's a good Midwest man. What now? What is this? The King is what is?
Yeah, what's going on behind you?
You what's this sign on the back? The King is something. The King is always right. Is
Always, I think it says.
Yes. Not sure. That's my roommate's sign.
I thought you were in your parents' house, and that was like a weird Jesus sign I wasn't aware of.
Now, let us explain why we think you're in your parents' house. It's because the texture on the wall behind you.
Oh, it is.
Very much like my grandma's house.
I live in my roommate's extra bedroom where his parents don't live here anymore.
Okay.
So it's just him and me.
Okay,
We
cool.
knew parents were involved somehow.
Somehow, yeah, with like the old
It
timey
is a
car in the
parent's
background.
house, quote unquote.
Not to go too far down this rabbit hole, but is that a paint texture that we're seeing on the wall, or is that an actual wallpaper?
It's a paint texture.
Okay.
I like you reached out to
had
touch
go
it.
over
Awesome.
I've never actually looked at
Just
it
double
carefully
checking,
enough.
just making sure it can be painted over easily.
And then Adrian, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay. What do you do these days for money?
Honey, I'm an aerospace engineer here.
Son of a bitch. You're a very smart kid. Yeah, okay.
Wichita is the air capital of the world. A lot of airplane companies started here.
Oh, really?
And there's a lot of airplane jobs here.
And then they all flew away.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
No
Thank
problem.
you. I was
No
thinking
problem.
it. You said it. This is one of those jobs.
Only Boeing went away. All the other ones are still here.
Gotcha.
This is one of those jobs on PS I Love You. I said that
STEM.
when people are like, should I get involved in the video game industry? I'm like, why don't you become an engineer
Yeah. Do something
and make a
can
lot of
help
money and
humanity.
You
You'll
could live
always
in a
have a
parent's
job.
spare bedroom of a friend's house.
He lives in his present. You're 25 years old. Is it that?
Yes.
That's right?
Yes.
So I mean, that's the time when you do live with your buddies. You know,
We
And
work
he's
out of a
saving-
spare bedroom. I'm not insulting
when you're
spare bedrooms.
32.
he's saving money and being smart.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
living with your
$600
hetero life
for an
mate
apartment.
over
I
there.
just pay a couple
and
$100
the
here.
dog.
Yeah. All right, fine. My topic is coffee.
Coffee.
And it's funny because you've taken a lot of shots at coffee and caffeine and everything else.
I have.
So I want this is a wide open topic that I want everyone to address in their own way, whether it be a coffee story. I know Colin doesn't like coffee. Whatever the fuck you're doing all of a sudden with coffee, that it's doing some of their anxiety. I'll start by saying I love coffee. And I look forward to it. I tweeted about this the other night when I was writing tweets for your topic about sleep, Tim, last week. I wrote one that was like, I don't really like sleep. I'm a morning person. I'm actually just excited to go to sleep to wake up the next morning and have a cup of coffee
Well, you know what
and
they
start
say,
my
Greg.
day. What's that?
The best part of waking up.
Is Folgers in your cup.
It's true.
It's true. They do say that quite a bit.
It is.
Yeah. I haven't had Folgers in quite some time.
I don't think I ever have.
But my first cup of coffee, I remember, it's one of those cherished memories for me. It was when Grandma Kennedy was getting her hair done at the salon, and Poppy and I, my Grandpa Kennedy, we called him Poppy though. I was with them for the day, and so we went with her, and we're chilling out there. And he's like, "Do you want a cup of coffee?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he gave me a little cup of coffee, and I was like, "This is terrible." So then we just put milk and sugar into it until I was able to drink it, and then I blacked out and woke up later, covered in cake, and I bounced around the walls. God only knows what happened after that.
What the fuck, Greg?
And then my next big coffee story I remember was like when we were studying for high school finals or whatever, and like maybe I'll take a cup of coffee. And I had one cup of coffee so I could study, and then you jump to college, sophomore year finals I remember taking. And I was studying for something, cramming for this test or whatever. And my friends were like, it was like 2 a.m, like, let's go to Subway and we'll get sandwiches, which is we're all up studying. Like, yeah. And before we did that, I was like, I need a jump start though. And I took a spoonful of coffee grounds and ate them. And I was in Subway and I remember my heart beating out of my chest in the most abnormal fashions. But that foot long set me straight and I didn't die.
Usually does.
So that's why whenever there's anything's wrong, I prescribe a foot long.
Greg,
In your
usually it's Colin and Nick that like give you shit for just being a fucked up creature.
Yeah.
You ate the coffee fucking guys?
I needed it then. I didn't have time for it's like even
But is that a thing?
it's not I don't recommend it.
I don't. But I mean, does anyone do that?
People
Does
eat
anyone recommend that?
espresso beans.
Yes. Yeah. To Greg's defense, I sometimes chew on coffee beans.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm glad to see I have one friend at this table.
I don't know about that shit. See, I have a similar story of like coffee when I was young. I was like, this is disgusting.
Sure.
How could you possibly want to drink this?
Like beer.
And I'm kind of still there. Like, I don't like the taste of coffee whatsoever. I'm addicted to drinking it, but I think that's just because I like drinking things. Like, and now that I know that it's like you can drink like coffee, zero calories, all this shit. It's like water. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good. I'm gonna drink that shit. But I definitely don't like it. I also like warm drinks, and I think that's the key of why I keep drinking coffee. Because otherwise, if
you do iced coffees,
yeah, I will, but I prefer hot normally. I prefer ice because they give you bigger. I like quantity when it comes to shit. Starbucks doesn't have Trenta when it comes to the hot shit.
Sure,
only
good point.
The cold
Good
shit.
point.
So that's why I do the iced coffee there. But otherwise, I don't like the taste at all. It reminds me of alcohol. I don't understand people are like, I like alcohol. I'm like, no, I'll drink it.
because it gets the job done.
Yeah, but
You're drinking with
it does
purpose.
not taste good. The one thing I want to give a shout out to with coffee though is I like the way it makes my pee smell.
Sure. Yeah. No,
It
I'm
has
with
a
you on
nice
that. I'm with you
aroma
on
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not the asparagus way.
no, it's
Yeah.
like it's just like it's a nice thing. It's one of those weird things you're like, that smells kind of good.
Yeah. It's like a reminder. It's like
Thank
you
you,
get to
coffee.
immediately reminisce right there in the toilet bowl. Adrian, what do you got for me on coffee?
Okay. I used to start off hating coffee because growing up, all my parents ever drank was instant coffee.
Yeah.
And
Uncultured.
exactly right. I mean, my dad's version of drinking coffee is coffee and then a crap ton of sugar and a crap ton of milk. So there's really no coffee taste at that point. So when I started making my own coffee, I thought that all coffee was like instant coffee.
Yeah.
So I bought grounded coffee and was just stirring like an idiot for like 5 minutes. Like, why isn't this dissolving? What's going on? But I love coffee. I have an espresso machine here. I have an AeroPress and a French press. I just
French press.
So
is
you're
nice.
you're like down the rabbit hole of just a coffee fanatic.
Yes, but I also I did have a scarring event with coffee where two of them actually. One when I was about 10, my grandpa accidentally spilled freshly made coffee on my back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was painful, and I cried for like 2 days.
How did that happen?
I'm not exactly sure, but
Were you bad right before it?
I remember I was in the kitchen table eating breakfast, and the next thing I remember is just searing pain down my back. It's like, yeah, no, it's bad.
Now, see, once when we were growing up, and we were still in the original house, so I was quite young. But this is one for your documentary. I was sitting there.
Sorry.
My father, number one crane operator, Greg Miller, was sitting where Colin is, right? And we have this dope ass bench like into the wall or whatever, and this like nice square table, and Mom's over here. And I forget what we were cooking, and keep in mind how small I am. But Dad picked up the barbecue sauce and shook it up like this, and it all sprayed out all over my head. I just wailed and wailed. I cried.
It was just
probably.
barbecue sauce. It's not
It was
hot. It's not.
no, it's
Okay.
barbecue.
Small.
You know,
all right.
I realized for the first time why Greg's an only child. Small wonder that they had this kid who was demented in every way, and they were afraid that this was the norm. They didn't know any better. That they might.
This is what happens when we combine A and B. We get this, and we can't have another one of these.
We barely want the one we have.
Coffee getting spilled on you it's bad business though. Like so, a couple weeks back on, I think it was the Gamescast. Kevin came in, and I asked him to get me a coffee, and he came in, handed me it, and like was so close to spilling it just because of his sheer, just like
Kevinness,
right?
I want to say presence.
Kevin
Kevin has a presence.
He definitely has a presence. I was telling him earlier that Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping is his theme song.
Which one is that one?
He gets knocked down, he gets up.
But he gets out again?
Yeah,
And
they're never gonna keep him down.
Yeah, the only Chumbawamba song that I
So,
know. Yeah.
so he comes through and like hits my hand with it. It was almost a disaster, and I give him a lot of shit for it. And you guys are like, "Whoa, hey, he's getting your coffee." And a lot of people in the comments are calling me out. What you guys don't know is that literally 30 minutes beforehand, he had ran around the corner out there, bumping into me and spilling my coffee all over me, and it was scalding hot, like fresh off the thing. And so it's just like that is Kevin to me, and like I'll always associate Kevin with me burning and being very uncomfortable, and like that's just part of that story. But
It's
yeah.
Kevin. We love him, and he makes the company run, but he just makes those weird decisions that define Kevin. And today was one of them where I was trying to get in for Colin Moriarty Live, so I came through the doorway, and then he was right where he is in the chair, but standing up. And rather than back up the 1 foot to let me pass, he tried to go through and get around me, as if that was making it easier. I was like, you just step backwards, it would have been fine. But we love you.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
He's like a bear on roller skates. You know what I mean?
It's like I said, I trust Kevin with everything, but I also trust Kevin with absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
at all.
nothing. Absolutely.
It's just somewhere. It's both of those things.
I trust him with everything. It's just I know that it's gonna be slightly smellier than I'd like it to be.
Yeah, and
Now, Nick,
sweatier. Yes.
You are a coffee fiend.
I love coffee. I love
But
coffee.
you're trying to come off it now? What's your
well,
problem?
I'm trying to cut down the caffeine of the coffee. Just because I like coffee as my morning ritual. I think it's just kind of ingrained in my culture at this point to wake up and look forward to that first cup of coffee. You know, mostly I usually, you know, I've got a couple Starbucks that I stop off at on my en route. If I want the prettier drive, I'll stop off at the one on Chestnut and then take the bridge over to 19th Street and cut through the park. Then if I'm in a hurry, I'll go over. You know, I got it all mapped out. But what I've noticed is that when you drink 2 to 3 venti iced coffees at roughly 190 milligrams worth of caffeine apiece, it just starts fucking with you a little bit. Namely, at night, I can't turn. Like I've hit a point where I'm like, I can't turn my brain off, and I have all this anxiety about all this stuff that's happening. All good stuff too. That's the crazy thing is you're like, our business is going well, my relationship is going well, my friendships are good. And I can't stop thinking. Like my mind won't turn off a mile a minute. And so I've started to
Have you ever worried that Colin's contagious?
Colin?
Yeah.
No, I gave Colin the cold. I gave the cold to Kevin first, then Kevin gave it to Colin.
Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Oh, Colin's anxiety? Yeah, highly contagious. But you threw me off of that.
I know. Sorry.
That's
I thought
okay.
it would be a real quick aside, and then it turned into this thing.
No, so that's what I've been trying to do is go decaf. Now, decaffeinated coffee is a little bit of a misleading thing too, because there is caffeination in decaffeinated coffee, even if it's an espresso. You can't take all the caffeine out of it. But I'm trying to cut it back to what a normal, like 1 cup of coffee would be, 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day of caffeine.
Sure.
The one thing I do like about coffee is that it helps me poop, and I enjoy pooping.
See, I've never had that. I've never had that. People talk about that all the time.
That's because your body is so weird that all you need is cold and you have to go poop.
Well, it's like wake up and I'm gonna poop, and then it's if I'm cold I'm gonna poop, and then if I ate a lot of food I'm gonna poop. There's like how much liquid's in me I might have to poop.
For me, it's the mochas. The mochas get my, and it's not even making me poop. It just makes my stomach do the like gurgle thing, and I think that's because of the milk and espresso.
That's
mix.
because you're lactose
Chocolate and
intolerant.
all
Yeah,
that.
I don't think I am.
yeah, you might
Pretty
be.
sure I'm not. I'm good. I can get down on some milk.
All right. Yeah, I mean a lot of dairy like that will just upset your stomach more often than not. I'm talking like I'll walk into a Starbucks in the morning perfectly well, sip on an iced coffee for about 5 minutes, put the iced coffee down, and have to bother someone to watch it because I'm going poop. It goes like that. It's like
that's
it's like a
crazy to
lever
me.
pulled and it's like it's the poop train.
Sure. Oh, I knew.
Coming out of
I
me.
understood what it was. I understood it was exiting the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean,
God.
I will always love coffee. That was to me, it was one of those things where I didn't start drinking coffee until because growing up in Riverside, there wasn't much to do, and I didn't really care for meth. So there's a Starbucks that opened, and I'm like, we'll try this, right? And that was what we did in high school. Is we went to Starbucks like after work or after school or whatever. We'd all have like the shitty minimum wage jobs, and the Starbucks was open till like midnight. And it was the first time I'd ever seen a Starbucks. I was like, this place is cool. And it had the coffee culture that came down from Seattle. And it was like, it was about sitting and talking and just enjoying like this moment with your friends over a cup of coffee. And I'm like, this is really, really cool. And to this day, I crave that experience as well. The other night, I just went over to a buddy's house because I'm like, I don't want to drink anymore. I don't really want to go to bars. I don't want to yell at people. I just want to have the experience of people just sitting around talking. Similar to when I was
You don't get that enough.
No, I mean I like it here, but it's on my leisure time. I like that. I don't want to deal with the douchebags at the bar that are going to try to elbow their way in so they can buy a drink so they can get more drunk because they think that being super drunk and super loud is what women like. I don't like that. It's starting to wear on me in my old age. But what I do like is when back in the day I used to go to when I graduated college and had no money. My buddies and I used to go to an all-night cafe. It was like, I think it was up until 3 o'clock in the morning. It's called Cafe Ruba in Newport Beach. You would sit outside because, of course, it was Southern California. It'd be really warm. And we would just play a game all night and drink coffee and smoke copious amounts of cigarettes. But the entire thing probably only cost me $10. I mean, it was nice because you get the same experience of the alcohol without necessarily needing to spend the money or worry about the calories of the hangover the next day.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It is.
Adrian, what are your thoughts on this decaf nonsense?
I don't do decaf. That's no, just no decaf.
Yeah, okay, good.
Well,
What do you feel about diet sodas?
Here's the thing. You might not approve of this to me, Tim, but I don't drink sodas.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'd rather that stance.
Would it been a bigger offense if you like Diet Coke over regular Coke?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Okay.
Like death before diet is my my stance on this.
Sure.
That's some bullshit, man.
Yeah, the only thing
I do like soda, but I just never crave it.
What's a great while on a soda?
that's why you're skinny.
See, for me, the decaf has a place. Like, I appreciate what you're doing here. You know what I mean? For me, I like coffee in the morning, and then it used to be 4 o'clock was the cutoff. Now I feel it's more like, actually, no, I'm sorry. It used to be 5 o'clock was the cutoff. No coffee after 5 o'clock, because then I would be lying in bed like that Spider-Man meme where I can't sleep, mask on. You remember it. It's very famous.
Yeah.
And then I had to dial it to 4, because there was one day where I had like a 4:30 coffee. And it's because I don't like my coffee super hot. So if I don't put ice in it, I let it chill out for a while. So then it's marinating, you know what I mean? And then I'm just wired, like you're saying. So I like a decaf. I'm a big fan of decaf in the evening if I want a cup of coffee, but more importantly, with the dessert at the nice meal. You've had the nice meal. They come by, they take the little metal thing, they scrape the crumbs off, they give you the dessert menus, you get a little cake donut or whatever.
Call that a decrummer.
Do they really?
The what?
See,
a decrummer.
See, for me in the evening, I just switch over to tea. No caffeine.
I do that too.
Tea, like herbal teas.
Yeah,
See, tea I don't get down with.
See, I can fuck with tea.
Tea for me is I'm sick. If I'm having a tea, I am sick. My throat hurts.
See, again, I just like the hot liquids.
See, I don't like the hot liquids. That's my thing. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what. It took me a long time, and I don't know why, but it was Nick Scarpino here. He's the one who changed my life and got me started on the iced coffees at Starbucks.
I think I screwed up one time and got you an iced coffee.
I think that is what happens. It was that E3. It was that E3, and I was like,
suck it down fast.
Exactly. And then once I figured that out, there was trouble afoot.
I know.
Because they do it all the time now.
Now, the thing, a shout out I want to give to coffee is you have to get it black. Like,
Yeah.
And I learned that from one man named Bernard Ho,
Oh.
who was the most intimidating man I've ever met in my life.
Power.
He is power. He's equals power.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. One time we were standing next to the coffee machine at IGN, and he was just drinking, and I forgot what he said to me, but he looked at me. He was just like, "If you're gonna drink coffee, Tim, you need to drink it black." And I'm like, "Okay, done. I'm never putting anything in my coffee because of you, and I'm gonna be powerful because of that."
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing something.
You're there. You're almost there. You're about 20% there.
Now, Colin, you don't like coffee at all.
No.
When was the last time you had a cup of coffee?
I drink espresso like after dinner when I'm at a nice restaurant.
But you like that, right? Is that different?
But it's the reason I haven't talked to her in this topic is I don't know anything about coffee. It seems a little disingenuous for me to talk about it at all. But
But that doesn't stop you whenever I talk about superheroes.
but I know a lot about superheroes. So with coffee, I don't. The last time I had like a regular cup of coffee years and years ago. Like I remember being. I used to drink coffee like when I thought it was cool at my grandma's house.
Yeah. Look at me, Grandma.
Look how cool I am, Grandma.
After Sunday dinner, they'd like let me have coffee. We'd all congregate for Sunday dinner every week, and just drink, eat sauce or gravy as we.
I had those too. My grandma used to make pizzas.
Yeah, like whatever random Italian food.
That's probably awesome.
Oh, they were so good. She'd cut them with the scissors.
Yeah, that was our great. Until
amazing.
my grandparents passed away, that was like our great tradition every Sunday
really good. I
on
remember
the
that.
island. And so I remember she had like this like crystal sugar thing with a silver top, and she had a spoon in it that was like a square spoon that was like a shovel with a little windmill on top of it, and you can like spin the wheel. And I used to just sit there and like spin it. I put like just a shit ton of sugar in my thing and milk and just drink it. But then and my mom would come and be like, "Why are you letting Colin drink coffee?" And I would have a good laugh about it. And then
turned into Full House somehow.
Credits roll, freeze frame.
And but I realized by the time I was like 9, 10, I'm like, this kind of sucks. Like I don't like it's not for me. Like I knew because my mom did drink coffee until in the late 80s. My mom became allergic to like a million things out of like nowhere. She was allergic to like yeast and all sorts of like caffeine and all sorts of shit. She like, couldn't eat or drink anything. And it wasn't until like a few years ago that she started like eating like a normal person again.
Your dad though had
my
to be a
dad
coffee drinker.
is like a heavy coffee drinker.
Your dad strikes me as I'm going to work and he has the giant thermos, the big metal thermos of coffee.
Yeah, like
that was my dad's deal. He had this green thermos that was beat to shit that just lived with him on job sites in Chicago that he took with him.
Yeah, my dad loves a cup of coffee, a good cup of coffee. He's like a connoisseur of it. Like he drinks good coffee. And
he enjoys a bad cup too, right? I imagine
he'll have any
the diner.
coffee you give him.
You guys at the diner. Whenever you talk about going to the diner with him, I imagine him with that like the chipped white coffee mug.
He'll allow it. He'll allow it. He drinks it.
GJM out there.
He drinks it black with a little bit of
Onion
sugar.
head.
Onion man. But yeah, when he was, FDNY firefighters are on 72-hour shifts, so they would have to work sometimes. Sometimes you work like if it's bad, it's you're basically working consecutively. So I think that's kind of where it came from. But my dad was also a bit of a workaholic. I mean, he worked like 4 different jobs, so we can live in a nice house on Long Island and stuff like that. And so like he was just never home. So he was just always like drinking coffee to stay to stay awake, and he still has a coffee thing going this day. One of my sisters, Allie, drinks a lot of coffee. I think Dagan drinks coffee. My mom drinks tea. She likes a lot. Like she drinks a lot of tea. I just don't like hot drinks. I like Coke and Pepsi, fine. Like I don't buy them anymore to have in the house because I typically because I think it's not good to have in the house. But whenever I go out to dinner, if I'm not drinking, like if I'm out at a craft cocktail place, I'll drink cocktails, but otherwise I'm gonna drink like a Coke with my meal, like when we go to ramen or something like that. I like that. So I guess that's kind of like my caffeine vice. But yeah, I've been silent about this because I just don't know anything really about coffee. I started drinking espresso a few years ago. I had like my first great espresso, I think, in Germany with pear, like 5 years ago maybe. And I was like, I kind of can appreciate this. It helps you digest a little bit and gives you a little bit of a boost after you ate a lot of food. So I can respect that, but. If someone was like, you never drink espresso again, I'd be like, that's fine. I would probably never think. I probably literally never think about it ever again.
See,
so it's not like something I have to I like live for.
When I wake up in the morning and I'm super dehydrated, I'm like depressed because I'm like, fuck, I gotta drink more water. I can't just drink a coffee. I gotta drink a bunch of water before I
drink more water. You drink more water than anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
I know, Colin.
You drink a lot of water. How much more water can you possibly drink?
Enough.
A lot.
You must pee a lot.
Coffee's a diuretic.
I do.
So
I keep it.
Probably drink more water.
Well, so that's what I was going to say about caffeine, just specifically, and that's part of the reason why I want to cut down on it is because coffee in general just dehydrates you. But caffeine, I think there's a misconception of what caffeine does that a lot of people don't really even stop to think about. It doesn't give you more energy. All it does is speed your heart rate up and starts maxing out your adrenal glands. Like it just starts creating these like. It actually is a very stressful thing for your body to do in excess. So you have to be careful with that. Because a lot of people, the conventional wisdom is you need some energy, drink some caffeine, right? And sure, it may focus you a little bit better, but it's because it's speeding your heart rate up to the point where your blood is just rushing through your brain. And you're like, cool, I got that. But it stresses out your system. It can be a very stressful thing. And if you're highly caffeinated all day, it can fuck with you, like severely.
Well, that was the thing when eventually Poe will come through. My Ramon. Your Kevin. And when Poe gets here, we'll make him talk about the fact of when he was in grad school. And so he's like mid-20s. He gave himself a kidney stone because when he was like writing this paper over 3 weeks, all he drank was coffee and all he ate was Skittles because he was at his computer writing this thing all the
coffee
time.
and Skittles diet.
Fucking idiots.
We've all been there.
I have.
So Adrian,
Yes.
any parting words on coffee for me?
What I would say is, have any of you ever tried microwaving coffee?
No, that sounds horrible.
So,
Of course, I have an Italian mother. She
I
microwaves
used
everything.
to do this like a while ago, but I stopped after. I was just sort of like, if you have you guys ever heard of superheating a liquid?
No.
Kevin has.
Okay.
He's nodding. But why don't you, for those of them out
Okay.
there that don't read about
It's-
superheating liquids, why don't you explain that to us?
It was a very painful experience, but if you have a very smooth cup and you put it in a microwave that doesn't rotate, and you can actually get it to be hotter than boiling. And when you put anything in it, it flash evaporates and it just gets everywhere and just explodes everywhere. That happened to me about 2 years ago and it just burned my hand.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
So what I say is be careful when you microwave coffee. Or at least don't do it.
Well, supposedly, and I learned this from one friend, Mirabella, is that you're not supposed to ever microwave good coffee because it changes it on a molecular level and will just fuck up the taste.
It doesn't taste as good,
No.
but I wanted something hot, and it was like 3 hours old coffee.
Sure.
I'm like,
Oh, that's perfect. That's prime for it, though, man. You pour that over some ice, little half and half. You got yourself a nice iced
That's
coffee
the
right
thing.
there.
I remember always liking room temp coffee and that being like gross. You leave coffee there and it goes from hot to
Yeah.
cold. People are like, but you put it over ice now, people don't care.
It's great.
I agree. I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. Here's
yeah, I don't like room temperature coffee. That's just weird. But
You're
iced
weird.
coffee and hot coffee, that's good.
Yeah. No, there's definitely like a graph to that where it's like in the middle is just like disgusting.
No,
but-
it's too when it's hot. I can't have it. Anything else in there? Here's my question, Adrian. Before we let you go, are you a coffee snob now? Your parents grew up on this instant stuff, but now you got the espresso machines. You got all this stuff. Would you say you're a snob now?
No, I would say no, but I do like quality coffee. Like if someone makes me coffee, I'll drink it.
Okay, you want to be
You know,
polite.
Yeah,
You're a nice young man,
Yeah.
and the king is always right.
Yep. It's true.
exactly.
Are your friends big surfers?
No, those are masks.
Out in
Those
Canada.
are
they're
masks.
I thought they
Those
were
are-
okay.
Surfboards?
I thought they were surfboards.
They're
Well,
tiny little surfboards, Nick.
I thought they were like
They're
they
either
look like a
tiny
longboard.
surfboards or the room goes
look
back
like-
like 100 yards.
They look like,
it's all an optical
they look like
illusion.
tiki
Like
masks.
that's a real car. I didn't realize that. I apologize. They are like a tiki mask motif.
I don't know half the stuff in this house. So.
I do like your anniversary headphones, though.
Oh yeah. Figure out how to use them.
Yeah. Adrian, before we let you go, is there anything you want to pimp, like your Twitter, or what do you want? You got a website? Or do you have a YouTube channel, a podcast?
No, I used to do a podcast way back in the day, but not anymore.
So what airplanes could people buy to support you?
Any Boeing planes, though, that's about $150 million a piece.
We'll get on it.
Chump
do that.
change.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's what we'll get for the
We'll
kind
get
of
on
funny
Patreon and get that money ASAP.
Adrian, thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you.
And thank you, Loot Crate, for sponsoring this segment. This episode is brought to you by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for the epic geek. God damn it. It was a smooth transition. The wheels fell off. Adrian, I'm sorry you got to see me like this.
Well, I can't see you anyway, so it's fine.
Hold on. Adrian, I'm sorry you had to see me like this. But now that you can see me, I won't screw it up. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for the epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear you need. For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure you head to lootcrate.com/kindafunny and enter the code KINDAFUNNY to save $3 on your new subscription. Loot Crate is more than just a subscription service. It's an entire community of fans that share their experience and interact with each other around the unboxing of each month's crate. And Loot Crate guarantees more than $40 worth of value in every crate. Sometimes it's even a lot more. Every month there is a different theme, and all items are curated around that theme. Previous crates have included items from franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and many more. The theme this month is Versus. Versus. Celebrating some of the greatest rivalries in pop culture. Dark Knight vs. Man of Steel. Alien vs. Predator. Spock vs. Mirror Universe Spock. Daredevil vs. Punisher. Harley Quinn vs. everyone. Our exclusive items include something you can display, something you can wear, and something you can use. And don't forget our Tea and Loot pin. Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, Adrian, that's it. It's over. So go to lootcrate.com/kindafunny and enter the offer code KINDAFUNNY to save $3 on your new subscription today. Adrian, we love you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you.
Of course.
Did you have fun? Was that good?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Very enjoyable.
Okay, good.
Maybe next time I'll actually come out there for the other one.
Ooh, yeah, totally.
Thank you so much, man. This was fun.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
What a nice young man.
Yeah.